about sunscreen. Sunscreen is a highly charged subject. We get lots of questions in our Instagram inboxes about cleansing and moisturizing. And I think the most passionate people is about sunscreen. Do I use it? When do I use it? Is it going to irritate my skin? Is it going to break me out? Is it going to make me look that weird color? So when you think about sunscreen, Trina, I know you're very passionate about sunscreen. When you're thinking about picking a sunscreen, what should someone look for when they're picking a sunscreen for their face particularly?
I wish I was more passionate 20 years ago, but
fair point. Me too.
Never too late. Now we know there's no excuse, right?
Yes.
We know the value, the importance of a good SPF for our face if we are trying to
slow down the aging
yes.
sign. Well, now the Skin Cancer Institute actually says that 90% of premature aging is caused from sun damage. And what they don't know yet is the impact of blue light from our computers, from our phones, from our tablets, and all of us spend an inordinate amount of time in front of those devices. So if you think about that, I would say for me, what someone should look for, like the first thing I think of is a sunscreen that protects you not only from broad spectrum UVA, UVB, but you should have a blue light protector in your sunscreen as well. So like that would be my first thing. For you, chemical, mineral, what's the difference? I think people ask me that all the time.
I absolutely prefer the mineral at this point because mineral has come so far.
Yes.
The technology has gotten to the point where we get the texture and the feeling. Mm-hmm. We don't have that ghosted look anymore. Yes. I mean, it's again, an incredible area of technology that has advanced, taken an ingredient and advanced it into what we will use and like to use every day.
Single day.
So hands down, a good mineral over chemical
every day.
Yes.
And if you're confused what I just said, if you're not sure, a chemical sunscreen works, you put it on your skin, you typically wait 30 minutes. And the way that it works is that in your body, that sunscreen absorbs the sun and then breaks it down. A mineral actually kind of acts like a Teflon coating or a shield, if you will. It goes on your skin and it reflects the rays, so they don't actually ever penetrate your skin. So I'm in your camp. I think mineral is great. A non-nano mineral is safer. What I also love about a non-nano mineral sunscreen is you mentioned that white component. A lot of times people would shy away from mineral. And I would say most of the products out there still do give you like a grayish white cast. I'm biased towards ours because it is a perfectly clear formula. It's a serum. That for me is the other thing when I'm choosing a product. I'm acne prone, I'm oily. I have never loved sunscreen because every time I use a sunscreen, literally the next day I have not only one, but probably 2 or 3 blemishes. So of course I'm not going to wear it every day because I'm like, well, what's the point? I get frustrated with that. And so I think you need to find a good lightweight sunscreen, which is hard. It's why I'm biased towards ours because it's so ultra lightweight.
Or I will get so dried out. I find
that.
So I use
that's a very good
sunscreen, and I feel like the next day
you're scaly and dry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Kind of defeating the purpose of all this protection and doing the right thing and being healthy with your skin. But then we have that day after effects that just,
it's
and
horrible.
it's why we just don't reach for it every day.
Right. You've got to find a sunscreen. I think, again, we talked about when we were talking about moisturizer, you've got to find a sunscreen that texturally also fits. Is texturally a word?
Sure.
Okay. It will be today. That feels good on your skin. And like I said, I think finding an ultra lightweight, but also one that's hydrating, one that gives you all of those benefits.
Skin loving.
That is a great term. So I love skin loving. I think that's super fun to be able to find that sunscreen. One of the questions I get often is, how much do I use? How often do I reapply? And where does sunscreen fall in kind of my skin routine / makeup routine for the best coverage?
Yeah. So enough to coat the skin. And I think that's the other thing in texture. I mean, we know how to apply a serum and a nice lightweight moisturizer in a way that we know it's coating our face.
Yes.
That's the same coating of an SPF.
Yes.
But make sure we're getting it everywhere and the way that you would apply a moisturizer.
And kind of the same amount that you would apply, because you have to think about sunscreen. One of the things that not only, aside from like using it earlier, making sure you get your neck, getting your chest, and yeah, this, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. So if you're looking to like not show the signs of age on your hands and your arms, what I do now is I apply sunscreen. And then when I have whatever residue is on my hands, I rub it on my hands and I get it on my forearms.
I apply it to the back of my hand
Oh,
to make sure I don't forget my hands.
your hands.
So
That's
I
smart.
drip it on my hands,
Yeah.
almost apply it.
That's brilliant.
Move it around and then make sure I get it
on your hands. It's really important. And
or
I think
we forget.
So if you're thinking about where does it go in your skincare routine, it's going to go as if you're using a mineral base, it's going to go as your last step of your skincare routine. So cleanse, eye serum, moisturizer, let those absorb. And then you're going to apply your non-nano mineral sunscreen, let it fully dry, and then you can move into your makeup routine to get the best coverage. Now, from a reapplication perspective, that's oftentimes a question. Like, do I need
That's a hard one.
Do I need to apply midday? I mean, I would say the answer is it depends.
It depends on your exposure
and what you're doing,
Absolutely.
right? Like if you're working from home and on Zoom all day and you're getting a lot of blue light access, you may want to actually do and apply another layer midday if you do have a lot of screen time. If you're out in the sun, if you live in Denver, if you live in a high sun climate, it's super important. And I would also say the last thing is how much time you spend outside. Americans grossly underestimate how much time they spend outside. The average American spends 1.3 hours a day in the sun, commuting back and forth, walking the dog, going to get the mail, picking up kids.
Which is so healthy.
Yeah, you do need sun, like your body needs sun, but you do want to protect your skin from the signs of aging. And so I think it's just important to remember wearing sunscreen on a daily basis to protect against UVB, UVA, but also against blue light. I think for me, sunscreen has been my biggest lesson on pro age, that I wish I could go back and do it, but also finally finding a product that I'll wear every day that doesn't itch, it doesn't irritate, it doesn't feel thick, it doesn't make me look weird. You know, we're both wearing it right now. It's very neutral. And I think it's important to find a sunscreen blue light that you'll actually wear.
And it's that multifaceted factor, I believe.
Yes, very good point.
So I think finding an SPF that works as a primer, because it is your last step, and moving into that makeup of whatever your makeup level is, it's that proper finish.
Yes.
It feels so good and almost an illuminating.
I would agree. It does give an illuminating kind of finish. It's perfect for makeup. And on that note, in our next video, we're going to be talking all about makeup with a guest speaker joining us to talk all things makeup. So until next time, cheers.